Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of technical difficulties.
As
it was only something small. It's all right. We sorted it.
Don't panic. Please don't panic.
There we go. Yeah.
I say to myself, as I scream internally.
So how did one of my students do on
commentary? Yeah, you managed to do some very. It was. See, this, of course, is the thing that I need to talk to commentators about a bit more. Is sort of like the sort of style of commentary. Like, there's people who you don't see so much in esports so much per se, but in fighting games in particular. Well, with my experience with fighting games, you normally see you either have the very analytical or the very sort of like the hype man sort of thing. The guy that basically is saying the same thing as everyone else is watching, but only 10 times louder. So just be like, making loads of noise. So, Habibis, they're just getting their character selection up now. Just trying to get things secure. So it looks like we're running with a pretty offensive round start. We've got a Roadhog once again. Soldier 76, a Widowmaker also for that first start. She's going to be securing the upper position.
Widowmaker so key for this first point right there. She gets a headshot instantly.
It's probably the highest vantage point in the entirety of Overwatch.
Yep.
I can't think of any other vantage points that are higher than that, having such a great vantage point, which is really important in Overwatch in general. Like, making those headshots easier for every character that has a height advantage. Just makes them headshots way easier.
I felt alive.
I mean, when we look at it, you know, we've got... What's the team name? Habibis, okay. So, when we look at that, okay, you know, we got Lucio there, obviously covering in terms of the healing, and obviously the speed boost might be important for that first push through the gates that we're looking at right now. I normally call them the gates of hell because they're horrible to get through on that push.
But managing to swap out right at the last second from Widowmaker, they actually decide to drop the Widowmaker over for a Baron instead. But Anna managing to get a first couple of secure shots on the Pharah, having to then drop down. Reinhardt taking a very forward position now for Julians.
Now, the interesting thing about Habibis is the fact that some of these players are master rank.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so we're going to see some pretty heavy play.
Get to see some really nice play coming in.
I mean,
Roadhog with a hook.
The Reinhardt shield there just blocking most of the damage. Unfortunately, down at the moment.
But here we have Genji coming in on the flank. He's just going to try and pepper him off from the outside. Just trying before diving in. And I don't think if anyone's actually spotted that Genji. No one's really take out the time.
The most skilled guy in there was the guy on the stream before. And
the team captain.
He's a master Genji.
He's a master Genji, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to see some good plays from the Genji.
Now, of course, here he is. He's just managed to sit on the back line. In and out.
He's taking on the Pharah now.
But this is difficult now because he's used his escape mechanism. He's managed to get out, but he used his escape mechanism a little bit too early.
Now, Liana's trying to keep that Roadhog up. I wonder if we're going to see grenades soon, just for that push that's going to come inevitably.
But Genji still creeping around on the back line, and he's sat there with an ulti as well. Gonna have to keep an eye on him if he decides to just dive in with ult. Has he been spotted? Reinhardt barrier gets destroyed. Managing to catch Lucio out in the process.
The Genji's got the ult ready now. It's going to be quite interesting if he mixes that with the Lucio's ult.
Or just basically any sort of ult that will cause any distraction.
There we go.
Gets spotted by the Zenyatta. Of course, I'm pretty sure that they know that they're there. Oh, just manages to avoid the Roadhog hook. But here comes Junkrat now with the tire. He's coming in from around the side. He's not going to have time to be able to detonate it.
Oh,
he manages to catch Reinhardt. Just right at the last second there. Both teams now building up a couple more ultimates.
That Genji
Team Julians with the advantage of 4 against 3 ultimates, but it depends how they're used, of course. Having to just take a little bit of a seat back, but here comes Soldier 76 now with the ultimate. He's gonna be met up against a barrier. Now here comes this Genji play.
Here we go.
Just going up against this Roadhog now. And he just dashes out.
Oh, and
Manages
he's
to
taking
secure.
Roller.
And he claims the objective. Again, just isolated on it. It was pretty much just a 1v1 against that Roadhog. No one was really interested in the Genji after that ultimate.
Enemy contact.
And he's the first one to reach fire state. He's on fire, folks. And that's the first point captured.
See, he's waiting for that discard to go off because pretty much he's one shot. As soon as he goes out, he's one shot.
Oh, but got hooked by Roadhog, but then dashes straight out. So there's the Genji, finally been taken down. Farah just littering the field a little bit with those projectiles. In fact, that's coming in from both sides, actually. Both teams' Farahs. Now, this is quite nice. No one's really trying to challenge him on 4 health and manages to walk away.
Yep.
Oh, but why? Oh, put the wall back in. All right, fair enough.
These Farahs are going to try and dominate the air, rain down. It's going to be interesting if they use the push missile to sort of disperse.
To split up the team from behind the barrier. Oh, gets up! Oh, catch on Soldier 76! Managing to recognize the barrier getting taken down, walks into the dash. Manages to heal up, gets pushed back. Managing to try and go up against Roadhog. He's now got biotic grenaded. Oh, but here comes Junkrat now with the tire. And he manages to get a double.
Two,
And
even
there's
with
a
the Rhine
double.
Shield. The Rhine Shield was there and he's still got 2.
I like these Junkrat picks with Reinhardt's on both teams.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really touch him really. Once that Rhine Shield's up, it's not really going to be doing much.
It just makes things a little bit more trickier for those Reinhardts. So, like, should I bring down my shield now with this Junkrat in my face, or and possibly disrupt the team? But here comes Farah now for Team Abyss, having to back off, even though managing to catch Lucio's ult.
We're going to see a big push now with that Lucio ult.
And a hammer down as well from Reinhardt on Team Habibis. In fact, both teams with Reinhardt ults. Soldier 76 ulti coming in. Manages to catch one. The Reinhardt shield managing to deny him. And here comes... And hammer down coming in as well. Gets taken straight to the wall. Reinhardt now on the back line. And they manage to win the fight. A lot of ultis there coming in from Julians there. At least 2 or 3.
I mean, the key thing is now, you know, we switched from the Genji, going straight into Xayah now, so he's getting a bit more tanky support that can ultimately, you know, Xayah is a good push character. We're already seeing it now, Lucio's speed, straight in. I can see this being whichever Rhine Shield gives up first. At the moment, the damage mitigations.
So a lot of this damage is coming in from both Farahs just being able to go above the shield just to try and disrupt the backline.
Unfortunately, that Lucio's out already for Habibis. You know, that's not good for them. Especially when they need those AoE heals. You know, you've got... Oh, wow. We've just seen a Tracer now. We're going to see some backline, hopefully.
Got it. And of course, little did they need, manage to get spotted by Junkrat, gets Discord orbed, and gets caught in the Junkrat trap.
The trap is ready and waiting. That's what makes those traps so useful for characters that do backline. You don't know it's a trap. And there we go.
A very confident round 1 coming in from Julians, managing to shut it down completely.
Score.
Just on that corner as well.
1.
Bit of a tricky start,
sides.
especially after that nice play from the Genji and the Farah on the first point.
Yep.
But let's see if Julians has a response. So we're just waiting on the character select.
A Torbjorn.
Torbjorn. That can work. That can work. It depends if they decide to keep the Farahs.
Yep.
It would be quite nice for Farahs, I would think, if there isn't a Mercy or anyone supporting the Farah whilst it's in the air. Just a nice little way to take them out of the air. But just assembling their teams now.
I mean, the Roadhog pick is actually quite good in terms of just picking those core characters out. We saw it before with Soldier. You know, the Roadhog picked the Soldier out, took the Soldier out. There we go. No damage then. Soldier does cause a lot of damage and reduces to a lot of teams.
Yeah. Of course, in regular team fights, it's pretty easy for Soldier just to turn around and run away, and then come back at a later time when he's healed up a little bit, or wherever he's got his healing field up.
Yep.
But in scenarios when it comes to CC and close range, that's where he really he doesn't like being put in a position where he can't run out. Yeah. So,
I mean, Habibis now have got Symmetra on there.
And so Torbjorn and Symmetra, so
it's quite a defensive comp, but if his turrets are out, you know, especially with Torbjorn, if his turret's out, what's going to happen then? You know, he's quite open, vulnerable. I don't think the turret is in the right position currently where it's at, because
it's going to go down very fast.
And then he's going to have to rebuild it.
Yeah. But I feel like the Symmetra pick's actually a smart pick.
Yeah.
Nice deflection there coming in. Again, it was coming back to sort of like what we initially was talking about with sort of like the barrier play that's been seen a lot in this game. Oh, he manages to dash in and he gets caught out and he dashes back out. Managing to secure the kill against the Pharah enables him to dash back out. Oh, but yeah, gets caught bad about a swing by the Reinhardt. Reinhardt already on the point. And Torbjorn, of course, we just said he had to rebuild his turret further back line.
They're all just securing that point, and you know, Habibis got to think, how do we get them off it? At the moment, I think Farah's the only person currently raining down damage.
But actually getting time to set back up now for Team Habibis with the Symmetra.
I mean, what's going to be interesting, are we going to see teleport or shield generator?
I feel for defensive, I feel there's more of an incentive for shield generator.
Yeah.
Because just every fight is just going to be like a character extra on the end now in terms of health. Everybody just getting that regenerable 25 health just at the end. But Soldier comes in with ult trying to make the push. He's going to be able to... Oh, doesn't manage to catch out Mercy. Mercy just on the very edge of her health bar.
Soldier instantly taking out those Symmetra turrets, making sure that, you know what, you're not taking my team out.
I'm going to take your team out instead.
It's quite a heavy push right now.
But no, of course, we're actually seeing a teleport come in from Symmetra instead.
Oh, wow. I mean, you know, if the team gets taken out, it gives them an incentive to come back and give it one last chance.
Attack with me.
But Genji with the ultimate now. How is he going to use it? It's going to be key.
I am ready.
Uses his deflect. Just slowly walking towards the point.
Yeah, seeing those turrets cause some damage now, causing that slow.
He's having to dash out to try and get that health. He's getting clipped by the turret set up in the corner.
Oh, and the barrel
gets caught out of the end. Only manages to take Roadhog. And Soldier 76 again with the ulti. He managed to build that up incredibly fast, and there's no barriers coming in for the team. There's a triple. There's four. That's a team wipe. Only Roadhog left, and there's the last charge from the teleporter down.
They definitely know where the teleporter is now, and it's up to them. Can we get rid of it before any more of them come back?
Well, I'm pretty sure they managed to use it all up just on that last charge with Pharah. Pharah was the last person to go for the teleport. Wow. And a very quick capture there coming in from Julians Booleans.
Get over here and heal up.
Manages to spot the Reinhardt and the Mercy. He's going to try and push in.
Some of the key things we've got to think about here now is, how's that Ryan going to play a part in keeping that damage away? Because so far, Julian's team, you know, that Soldier is causing a ton of pain for everyone involved.
He's just sat there and waiting for that barrier to come down. He's waiting for the disruption to come in from Pharah, who's above, just firing above the shield, and then just... Like here, he's managing to fire right above Reinhardt's head and just managing to splash on the backline. As soon as Reinhardt tries to like adjust for the team position, that's where Soldier's coming in for the flank and then managing to drop an ulti along with conjunction with other characters and managing to secure that forward position. But Roadhog situated on the corner now. He's got his ult along with Mercy and Reinhardt on the team. Both Reinhardts on both enemy teams have got ult. They're just waiting for barriers to go down for that ultimate hammer down.
We're going to see if
they managed to get a hook, and there's a hammer down coming in from the enemy team. Manages to splash a little bit behind Julian's Julians. And off goes the enemy Reinhardt. He just dives straight into the action to get met by McCree. And there's a hammer down coming in from...
Oh, and the barrel.
I've got
And Soldier 76 with the ultimate as well. It's an absolute splatter fest.
Oh, the Mercy Res.
And they managed to secure game 1. Julians Bullions. Okay, so on to the next map then. We're going to be going over to Ilios.
2-1.
So, yeah, very nice play there coming in from Julians Bullions. No, just Ilios. They've already picked.
So,
of course, let's see play the game. Yeah, coming in from Soldier 76.
I would have to agree with that. The Soldier so far.
For Julians Bullions, yeah, this was the triple kill play.
Wow.
He manages to go back.
I've got you in my sights.
Gets 1. Gets 2. Finally gets that third. Manages to secure 4 kills in a row. Very nice.
Cleans up and secures the point.
Manages to make use of all them teleporters on Symmetra side, running them out of teleporter, thus then allowing them to secure the point.
So we're just going to settle the next match here.
I'm going to be adjusting scorecard for Julians.
I know we had a bit of difficulty before, obviously switching.
Swapping the sides. Since, of course, they're not logged into their own accounts, so we're actually using those that have been provided to us by Arcade Club. We're using their licenses instead. So, of course, this time round, we've all, of course, trying to figure out who's on what side and blah, blah, blah. But like I said, this is part of the... We said right when we started the stream that this is going to be a very different experience for us all, due to the fact that we're used to just being fighting games, just being one person.
Yep.
We're just looking for one person, one team, and this, that, and t'other.
We're working with 12 people.
We're working with a lot of people, and of course, there's a lot of people coming around doing a lot of media stuff as well on the sides. So,
I mean, it's been good so far. You know, we've had some good comments. So I think, you know.
So a good start there.
But you know, hopefully you guys at home, you know, watching are enjoying so far. You know, you got to remember these guys.
Now arriving at Ilios.
You know, they're in college. You know, these guys have been dying for these opportunities, and you know they're getting them right now. So just sorting the teams out at the moment, just so you're getting the correct information on screen.
So we're going into Ilios now, onto the next map. We're getting their picks in. Not seeing many adjustments.
No. I mean, that Junkrat's there again.
But we're finally now seeing a Zarya pick for that Graviton Surge. Of course, what map are we on? We're actually on the... So we're actually going to be running on the sort of like the flip side map. A lot of them are going to be able to do their CC work.
Okay, so we got Habibis in blue, we got Julians in red. Now, obviously, Julians is going for that Barra again, for that air dominance. It'll be interesting to see how both Barras play out the game.
So we're also seeing a Winston pick on this map. I feel that's really nice for sort of like the general destruction. And here he comes, and he's, again, another character that deals well against shield, against barriers. He's going to be able to
barriers, take those tricky characters like Lucio, the more mobile ones out.
He's able to jump off and catch a barrier. He's stuck on this barrier. He's trying to get it in, but now getting caught. He manages to leap out with only 50 health remaining. Meanwhile, the other team, Julians, is managing to secure the point. Getting met by Winston, though. This Winston does not want to give up.
Nope.
He's wanting to secure that. Lucio with that. Roadhog just managing to catch him on the end there.
So Julians just caught the point there. Showing complete dominance so far.
Julian's managing to start off strong with capturing the first point. They're going to have a bit of time to set up. They've not got anyone coming up to him yet. So off they go. Trying to meet him halfway there. Reinhardt securing the position. Farah up in the air, trying to see if she can catch on anyone. She spots a Reinhardt, she spots a D.Va in the house as well.
That Ryan's taking all that damage right now.
The team is pretty split up though.
Habibis going for the push.
And he manages to get the trigger on the bomb. He's going to be able to take him out of mech. And here he comes down in the flank, and there's a hammer down. Junkrat's going to be able to clean up. The team just managing to completely clean up that fight there.
some of the core issues so far. That Ryan needs to keep that shield up, but he needs that support from the team.
Yeah, he needs to sort of like have someone there to fill in the gap.
Yeah.
But when normally you'll see that from like a main with an ice wall or with a diva with a right click. But the only thing that Roadhog can really do is stand in the way as the second tank. And even then, that's not too great. He can get dropped incredibly fast. And manages to catch back line, manages to get both Diva Mech and managed to secure a nice Diva Mech there and against Sana.
That only person Julians there.
Only person managing to escape was Farah, who was just walking out from base. Farah gets spotted.
As soon as that Farah went down, it was like, you know, their Farah complete dominance. Yeah, that's
hook all the way from back there as well.
Again, protecting that Farah, taking that soldier out, making sure that she still has that air dominance.
It's now going to be struggling for the team. And yeah, very nice, easy game for Julians for round one. Not really much to try and challenge them. Not much sort of adjustment there to the fact that they couldn't seem to get over Reinhardt's barrier. Of course, it went down particularly quick, but by the time it got down to particularly low health, all the damage had already been done.
Yeah, and the key thing is that Habibis had the right idea with the Reinhardt pushing forward, but the only problem that we had after that was that his team weren't helping. They weren't helping the Reinhardt. They were getting separated. Exactly what the Farah was trying to do.
I feel it was very much a sort of team split up problem that we're seeing right there. Characters being stood at the wrong place at the wrong time whilst the team's divided. Your DPS is off on the far side of the map, dealing with characters like Winston, who's just leaping in and out. And then all the while, right at the very back of the group is Junkrat, who's just littering the field with left click.
Already giving that top-down support, throwing those grenades in there.
He's not getting any kills, but he's getting a lot of damage and he's getting a lot of destruction. He's denying them space.
But we are seeing two Roadhogs right now.
And we're seeing two Reinhardts collide against each other as well. Not in Team Julian's favour.
Again, the Mei is mitigating where the enemy needs to go, and they're controlling exactly where they go.
Yeah, I think this is a nice, nicer pick for Habibis, because as soon as Reinhardt loses barrier, Mei's going to be there to be able to give Reinhardt that bit of breathing space that he needs to be able to get his barriers back up. But the other team, Julians, is just not giving him a chance. They're saying, no, I don't want you to have this space to yourself. And just gets hit with a fireball there. But Julians managed to secure the point. Let's see how far they can get with it.
I wonder if the Reese is going to do some good shield setup. That's going to be key, I think, to this push now for Habibis.
Because the shield is quite a particular. It's a weird sort of dome shape. It's like literally Winston's shield being cut in half.
Yeah.
It sort of has that arc on the top of it, which kind of stops the top half, like Farah, from raining down too much on it. It makes it a bit more of a sharper angle that needs to be hit. But saying that, Julians, Farah managed to do quite a lot of work now.
The Rhine's down now, they can't protect from that damage anymore. If that Arisa gets the shield set up, they should be fine. But again, they're controlling that first point. They're not letting them through whatsoever.
But then again, there's not much of a flank coming up, but there's Reinhardt managing with the hammer down. He's able to get two, and he stands in front and secures his team up to 50% on the capture mark. But gets caught out. But good support there coming in from the rest of the team. And look at this push.
Wow.
They've captured the point and they're just pushing their way forward.
Again, they're utilising that Reinhardt so well and using the roll pop to pick out the characters that they want to pick out.
And look at this narrow corridor that Junkrat is just filling with this left click. He's not even having to stand out, he's just littering the field, making it a really difficult choke point coming in. But he does get hit and he does get knocked down. And now the rest of the team is going to be flooding their way in. This Farah is doing an amazing amount of work.
Oh wow, that shield on the Farah to protect.
But the Zenyatta ult coming doing even better.
Already, Arisa's ult got destroyed. The attack button's gone.
And a very convincing response there coming in from Team Habibis.
Yeah, so far I thought, you know, they had very, very good control. You know, Julians already, you know, competing, getting straight in there. This is going to be an interesting because there's not many opportunities to push off the map, like we've seen with the other two. So
this one is, of course, this one is going to be a lot more. Who can we have to stand in the middle? And who can we have stood on the edges, on the high ground, littering that space? Of course, we've seen it. We've got a pick now here with Hanzo, and I feel like on the last map, this wasn't so great. But if all the players are stood in the middle and you fire a scatter shot into the middle of that, that's going to be a lot of damage coming in for them squishies that are sort of scattered around on the point.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if you look at, you know, Julian's team, they've got that Zenyatta there that can be taken out easily with a hands-up.
With a scatter shot. He doesn't even need to aim properly, and he manages to take out the Zenyatta with a scatter shot. But the real trouble is coming in from these Farahs. Just
again, as we've seen that, the Ryan is coming in, but he's got no support. He's just flying in. He needs those people right behind him.
And everyone's really struggling to try and deal with these Farahs. Good hook there coming in from Roadhog.
Again, Julian so far just having complete dominance over the point.
And just stood on top of him. Pushes Roadhog back. And look, here's this offensive push that we saw from last game as well. Just taking a nice forward position. Just not fussed.
I think what we need right now, especially with Habibis, need to group up, need to go in as one unit. We keep getting picked off one by one. That's what that Roadhog is.
I feel as if the approach towards the fight is just push. I feel like they need to take a step back, take a breather, select a pick that can deal with these Farahs that are just straight on top of them.
No, look at the Ryan triple kill right there. Instantly just swinging the hammer around.
Just all the tips. Of course, they're pushing into the pit, which is where they want them to push.
Yeah.
They're getting forced into this position that they don't want to stand in. The positioning is so... you can tell the difference between Julians and the Habibis just for the fact of their positioning and sort of how they're funneling the team down a very narrow corridor where Junkrat, Reinhardt, all these close-range characters, or Pharaoh with this splash damage coming in, is just able to do the job that she was born to do. look at this. She's managed to catch two. She's able to push back, manages to escape, get splash damage on Lucio and Roadhog.
I don't see that very often, and actually using the
concussion missile to try and push herself back to escape from that scenario. Yeah,
and we just saw two barrels at the same time, but only one kill each, so it's a good trade.
But it's working out all in Julian Bullian's favour. It looks like it's going to be a very difficult... There's no ults on Habibis' side now, whilst Julians, they've got three ults coming on the enemy.
Make sure they're protecting that point with those ults.
And they throw it down, and there it goes
to
Julian's Bullians.
We've got the game.
The next match, a very quick and easy match decided there.
So, I think I'll get the captains just for a quick interview.
Just for a fast interview, yeah, of course. So we're going to be talking to Alex from Julian's Bullions and Hussein from Habibis. Of course, it'll be interesting to see what was going through their mind when they first did the initial veto and sort of what their initial idea was to how to approach the map. And look at that, I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red, folks. It's absolute madness. So a very nice game 2 coming in there from Julian's Bullions. So we're going to have a quick interview with the team captains dead quick. Of course, they both were surprised about playing against each other. So it'll be interesting to see what they both thought of each other's play and what sort of their initial thought pattern was when approaching the match. So we're just going to be getting... All right, okay. Welcome back. You were just on commentary disc with me. You were like, "Oh, I'm looking dead forward to playing against the match." So,
yeah.
So talk me. So let's start off with like the map veto and what was going through your mind when you first initially started veto. Because of course you both said, "Oh, we're having to play against each other." Oh. So what was going through your mind when you, of course, were going through map vetoes? What were you trying to achieve?
I really wanted to take out all the 2 CP maps, basically.
Right, okay.
Because knowing our team, knowing our abilities as well, and what we can do, I knew for sure that we definitely could never capture that last map, that last point on the map.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get rid of all the 2 CP points and try and get as much ground covered as possible.
All right, of course. Yeah, because with the payload map, as soon as it managed to hit the payload, that sort of like incentive to sort of like secure the forward ground seemed to really initiate. Of course, when we started off with King's Row, it felt somewhat like a bit of a stalemate for that control point, which would never work in the attack team favor until finally we managed to reach the payload, and then we finally managed to see that sort of forward aggression. So, of course, we managed to see stuff like that. But how did you find the match? Of course, you were, of course, communicating a lot with your team. What do you think was lacking in that match to order to bring it to that final game? Because it was 2-0 at the end. The final score was.
Yeah.
So what do you think that it was lacking from that final the fight?
Really, we had no communication. We tried to call things out. We tried to talk to each other. However, we just never grouped up. We always trickled in, which was our downfall, really.
Right.
And
of course, on that last capture point there, I did bring up about how, of course, it did look like the way that the enemy team was positioned, it was just like you were sort of like walking down a funnel.
Yeah, we were just getting
You were
picked
being
off.
funneled down into a very narrow space where, of course, characters like Junkrat, Reinhardt, and Pharaoh were able to do all their their AoE and all their splash damage in order to just whittle you away. So
they really knew how to play to their advantages, really.
Yeah, of course. So what do you think it is that you need to order to come back and, of course, change it back around so it's 2-0 in your favour next time?
Basically, I think all we really need to do is just communicate, group up, work as a team, and actually push when we push. And I noticed a lot of our players wasted ults for no reason. They thought, I've got my ult, let's use it. But really, we need to group up and use our ults all together, combine them, combo ults. But we just never did that.
Yeah. Right, so of course you're not out yet. It's double elimination, so of course we'll be probably speaking to you later. Of course, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
So I'll then be getting up onto the next team captain. Thank you very much. So of course, there we are. Of course, with team captain for the Habibis. So then coming up next is team captain from. I always, every time I keep wanting to say this name, I'm just like, Julians Booleans. But, okay, so team captain for Julians Booleans, Alex. So, I was talking with, of course, the other team captain just right there about sort of like how he really admired how you really played to your strengths. And especially in that last capture point, Ilios, we saw a prime example of how, like, you really managed to do an incredibly good job of being able to funnel the team down into very narrow sorts. Like, you seem to be very well coordinated with your team. What was it? I'll start off at the top. What was it that you were thinking of when you were going through map veto?
Well, one of our favourite maps are the payload maps, because we feel like on some of the most payload, like King's Row, it's like the first gate. We can hold them extremely. We feel like that's the best place to hold them. We can hold them extremely well. Of course,
I also brought up about how it sort of felt like on the very when it was a capture point on the very first at the start of King's Row, it felt sort of like a stalemate, which always felt, which of course is always in the defending team's favour. But as soon as it hit onto the payload, it sort of rubber banded.
Yeah.
Of course, it completely swapped around into a more sort of like a forward ground, securing forward ground, pushing forward, and then letting the payload sit at the back and move its way towards the point. So it was a lot more of a different style of play, which I think both teams really somewhat favoured. But of course, in the end, with the map selection, of course, you ended up on top with a 2-0. So going into the game, what did you feel like what do you think was your core strength, and what do you think was the opponent's main weakness that you really played upon?
I think the defense main weakness was they tend to separate a lot.
Yeah,
they staggered themselves.
Yeah, of course, all the characters will always seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, very split up. Yeah. Which, of course, your characters, like, of course, with Roadhogs and all over the place, of course, and the Pharaoh as well, managing to utilise that quite efficiently. Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, of course, you're continuing on through winner's side.
Yep.
So, of course, best of luck with that. Of course, the matches will only get more and more intense as it goes on, so I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be going on to Game 3 in just a moment, guys. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.